normally, as I mentioned earlier in the hour, you could draw a line between Arkansas and Dallas, Texas, in terms of Jerry and Jimmy and Cowboys fandom. How do you have a Steelers hat on your head right now?
It's funny
Justin?
because most people are Cowboys fans. Part of it is proximity. It's it's 4 hours from where I live now, and then part of it is obviously the Jerry Jones connection. He was on our only national championship football team in '64. He was an offensive lineman, played for Frank Broyles, and does a lot for the University of Arkansas, and I'm certainly appreciative. I was a huge Cowboys fan when I was a kid. Loved Jimmy Johnson, who was also a Razorback. And for whatever reason, I don't know why this had this effect on a 10, 12-year-old kid the way that it did. But, back when Aikman, Irvin, all the Emmitt Smith, all those guys were there, I was a huge fan. Jerry fired Jimmy. And I don't know why I cared so much as a child who the coach was, but I loved Jimmy Johnson. And when he fired Jimmy, I said, I will never root for the Cowboys ever again.
No kidding.
And I don't know why that had such a lasting effect, but it did. And so years later, I thought, I loved pro football, but I didn't have a team. And I thought, well, I need to pick a team. And I made great friends with some people from Pittsburgh. My bass player's from Pittsburgh. The guy who started my record label is from Pittsburgh. And I thought, that's a good organization, and they do things the right way for the most part. I'm not sure about getting rid of AB and Bell, but we'll see. And so that's been about 15 years ago. It's been a pretty good run.
Okay, so you didn't – let's just make this – because I was just about to ask the time on here. So for you as a 10 or 11 or 12-year-old to make a stand for the coach and then to go from the Cowboys to the Steelers – and then
my dad's a huge Cowboys fan still.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that it would have been a bad time to get off of the triplet bandwagon and then go on the Neil O'Donnell bandwagon for the one championship that Switzer brought to the Cowboys. That would be bad timing on yours. So this was after all of that.
Yeah, this was probably 15 years ago, something like that. So I've seen maybe 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, if you're going back to the Super Bowl 40 win where Bettis said farewell in his hometown of Detroit and Cowher was done at that point, then that's 2000.
Yes.
Okay.
I was with that one, and then...
That was 2005, pardon me. So,
I was with that one, and then Ben's second one.
There you go.
So the one against the Cardinals, I think.
Right. Not the one that they lost in Dallas to Green Bay.
We don't speak of that one.
We don't speak of that one. And I think it's interesting, Justin Moore here on the Rich Eisen Show, that the Steelers this year are going to go into the season with the rare attitude of nobody believes in us. Because in the past several years, the Steelers couldn't say that because a large amount of fans, not just Steelers fans, believed that the Steelers could win.
Yeah.
Right now, people are kind of wondering what's going on right there.
It worked for the Patriots last year, so let's hope that it works for us.
But it sure did.
I do think it's obviously warranted, that mindset, because arguably they lost the best running back and wide receiver in the league. That could be argued.
Yes.
But they're definitely top 2, 3 in the league, each of them. Smith-Schuster, I think, is kind of a stud in waiting, in my opinion. I think they had a really good draft. We drafted your boy from Michigan,
You're going to love Devin Bush.
I liked the Benny Snell pick, too.
So many people were not high on him for some reason, and I just saw the way that he dominated his bowl game performance.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like that.
He's a Steeler guy, kind of guy.
I don't.
He's not got blazing speed or,
But you roll him downhill and have a good time trying to stop him.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Connor in a sense, and a little bit of Bettis in him. I think he'll mold well with the organization. So. And then they got another receiver. I forget who they got, but a receiver that I think is going to be pretty good from a smaller school.
And I believe in Tomlin. I know Steeler fans like to carp on him, and that it's been a while.
They do, and I don't really understand it.
He would have another job literally within 60 seconds.
I had the opportunity to be with him at a Country Music Awards show. We were sitting next to each other, and I just let him know that I was a huge Steelers fan, and super, super nice guy, great guy, and I've always been a big fan.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.